something that everyone thinks of about their pet being sprayed. It's go run and get the tomato juice.
Right. Right.
Is that accurate? Will that work?
Zero chemical sense. Total waste of time. Incorrect. Waste of time. And it actually makes my job harder because they'll call me afterwards where, the dog smells like skunk and V8. And now I'm supposed to take out my magic wand and make it all better. A lot harder.
So that's just like a movie cartoon myth.
Yeah, I would say for 98% of the people, it's completely ineffective. Have I had people tell me that they swear by it? Absolutely. Like some people swear by the home sprays and the those, what's the word? The air fresheners that you put in the wall.
Yeah.
Everybody swears by that stuff. And my answer is, hey, if it works for you, have a great time.
Yeah. No harm, no foul for you.
Right.
Now, where do you think that came from, that myth?
Oh, someone, I heard that there was a television show. I can't remember which one it was. It was cartoon, one of those cartoon. And I
Rugrats?
think one of them. I don't know
Okay.
what it was. And apparently in that TV show,
Yeah.
they talked about tomato juice. I will say that there was a TV show called Mythbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And they did one of their segments on this whole process, and they basically said that none of that other stuff worked, and that the formula that I use is really the one that's proven.
Is correct.
There's some segment out there.
Okay, that people could look at. Now, I've also heard that if you get sprayed by a skunk, it could cause blindness. Is that true?
As an individual or as a dog?
Either or.
Look, skunk oil is not toxic. It's a really effective defense mechanism. So it's really intended to temporarily disable whatever the predator might be. So potentially, the dog could be temporarily blinded, but no worse than, say, mace or any of the other, sprays of whatever origin. It's not permanent. I think in my research, only one dog has ever died where it was directly attributed to the oil was what caused it, the skunk oil. But the dog had already had a bunch of things wrong with it, and it was kind of teetering anyway. So.
Oh, really? So it was on its last legs. Wow.
But they do get disabled. I mean,
when
people call me, they are in the rafters because Fifi, is foaming and she's running around and doing all of that, and they're worried about the dog. So time to time, I have to let everybody know your dog's going to be fine. I'm not a vet, but my experience is probably be okay. Don't worry about that.
Now, is there any breed, like you said, some will have thicker fur than others? Is there any breed that is harder to clean than the rest?
I would say the toughest is a type 3 against a really thick, long-hair golden retriever.
Oh.
That's the toughest because they seem to have the most difficult coat to rinse because you got to get in and different coats have different what I call a rinse factor. Some dogs can have very short hair, very difficult to rinse. Some dogs have long hair, easy to rinse. It's some texture. It's some indefined texture that I've not understood. But generally speaking, and this is behavior aside, we're not talking behavior, we're just talking coats.
Yeah.
Long-haired golden retriever, that can be...
So you're really strapping up the gloves.
No gloves. You cannot use gloves.
You can't use gloves?
Can't. The reason is because when you wear them, we can't hear it, but they're responding to that crinkling sound. There's a very high-pitched crinkle sound, and so what I discovered is that I get very poor conduct from the dog when I'm using gloves. So I do everything barehanded. I use a Swiss baby diaper cream on my knuckles.
Wow. I mean, those mitts got to be stinky as hell sometimes, huh?
Smell lovely.
Right, yeah. What kind of soap do you use afterwards?
Because, I have my own formula that is basically an instant oxidizer. So if I have anything on me, I just spray it. It's harmless, and it instantly takes the odor out.
Okay.
So.
Wow. So, okay. Is there a breed on the opposite end where it's like, hey, obviously not pleasant, but there should be an easy fix. We'll clean it.
Ultimately, it's I never know what I'm getting into until I get into it. But
Because not all sprays are equal, right?
not all sprays, there's a spectrum, and
Yeah.
then your variables are the coat and the skin and the pH, or a lot of moving parts. But generally speaking, if the dog is sweet and cooperative, and the owner has supported my requirements
Yeah.
behaviorally, and the rinse, I mean, sometimes these things can be done in under 30 minutes.